Hey guys, it's Mallory and I'm here today to do my May wrap-up and June TBR. So I had a decent month of reading in May. I'm gonna get right into it. I'll put the pictures of the books somewhere up in this corner. So the first book that I read was The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson, and I absolutely adored this book. It was so fast-paced. I loved the characters, I loved the plot line, everything. I cannot wait to see what happens in the rest of the series. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The second book that I read was one that I started in March, and it took me this long to read, and it is Tallis and the Frozen King by Graham Edwards. I received this book for review, and I do have the review written out. I just have not posted it yet, but once I do post it on the blog, I will link it in the down bar for you below. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. The third book that I read was Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness, which is the last book in the Chaos Walking trilogy, and I am so upset that this trilogy has ended. I absolutely loved every single thing about this trilogy. The more you think about it, the more the series is really amazing, and the characters, you just fall in love with them, and everything is so action-packed. It's an all-around amazing series, and if you have not read it, I highly recommend it to you. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The fourth book that I read was another end of the series, and it was The One by Kiera Cass, which is the third book in the Selection series. Once again, I'm sad that this trilogy has ended. I never expected to love this series as much as I did, but it has grown to be one of my favorites, and again, I'm very sad that it has ended. And I gave the last book a 4 out of 5 stars. The fifth book that I read was The Passage by Justin Cronin, and I was so excited to read this one because there has been nothing but hype and nothing but good things about this book, and I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was so long, and it was full of people that I didn't care about doing things that I wasn't interested in. And I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. I have the review written. Again, I have not posted it yet, but once I do, I will link it in the down bar below. The sixth book that I read was Splintered by A.G. Howard, and I'm happy that I waited a while to read this one after it came out because it was so hyped up when it first came out that I think had I read it right when it came out, I would have been very disappointed. I actually ended up really enjoying it. There was a few things that kind of bugged me. Again, I have written a review for this book, I just have not posted it yet. Once I do, you'll know where to find it. I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. This one kind of disappointed me. It just wasn't as horror feeling as The Shining was. It just didn't give me the creepy feelings like the other one did. And it was a lot different than what I expected it to be. I still really enjoyed it, and I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was our book club pick for the month, and it was Trouble by Samantha Towell, and this book pissed me off. There's not much else to say about it. I have written quite a review for it. Again, I have not posted it. I'm sorry, I've been lacking on the posts this month. I've been so busy. But yeah, this book just drove me crazy. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, but thinking about it now, I should have probably rated it lower. The last book that I finished in the month of May was Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. In the beginning, I was very confused. It's hard to kind of get a feel of what's going on or what the year or the date is. David Mitchell really has a way of picking out different voices for different characters. Between each chapter, it felt like it was a different author for each chapter because the writing styles were absolutely completely like polar opposite different. It was amazing to see his writing technique and to see what his writing is actually capable of. Now on to my June TBR. I have quite a long TBR, but I'm feeling hopeful this month, so we'll see how many I can get through. So continuing on with my method of selection, last month, we're doing the same this month. So my choice for a YA novel is City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I really need to catch up on the series because the last book just came out and everybody has been so excited about it, and I'm still on book 3. So I cannot wait to start this one and see how the story progresses from here. My choice for an adult novel is Swamplandia by Karen Russell. I've heard nothing but great things about this book and I can't wait to see what it's all about. For my continuation of a series, I am finally reading Tiger's Voyage by Colleen Hooke, not sure how to say her last name. I am absolutely in love with this series. It is one of my very top series. And I think I've been putting this off because I don't want it to end. From my TBR jar, I already picked it out and it's kind of stuck on there so I can't take it off. And it is The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. I hope I said that right. This one I bought for a couple of dollars last year, I think. And I've heard really cute things about it and it's supposed to be a really good book, so I can't wait to see what this one is all about as well. From my bookshelf, I chose The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I've been wanting to start the series for years and years now, and I just have never gotten around to it. I've tried to watch the movie a couple of times, but I always end up falling asleep or get busy and I just don't have time. So I would really like to do a book-to-movie review. My Kobo, I am choosing Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll, which is the second in the Beautiful Creatures series. I just watched the Beautiful Creatures movie this month, and as bad as it was, it reminded me that I really liked the first book in the series, and I would really like to continue on with the series and see how it goes, so now is my time to do so. From my Goodreads TBR, I chose Born at Midnight by Cece Hunter. This is also the first in a series, and next month, or hopefully this month sometime, I plan to read the second one with my friend Maria. So that will be really exciting. So I can't wait to read this one and then read the second one, and I love having people to talk to about books. So if you want to read a book with me, you could leave me a comment and let me know. Number 8, a new series. I have chosen Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Again, a series I have heard nothing but good things about, so hopefully I will like it as much as everybody else has. A second adult novel, and I have picked Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, which is super popular right now. Everybody's talking about it, and I want to talk about it. And then last, a book that starts with the same letter as the month. It's June, so that means J. And I chose Just One Day by Gail Forman, and I've read If I Stay by Gail Forman, which I absolutely loved. I have not read the second one, Where She Went, which I should probably get on that right away. But Gail Forman seems to be a pretty amazing author, and I can't wait to see what she does with this book. So then I have a list of 5 books that, if I have time, I would like to read. So the first one is Goliath by Scott Westerfeld, which is the third in the Leviathan series, another series that I absolutely adore. And I love to listen to these audiobooks because the reader is Alan Cumming and he just does a phenomenal job. The second one is a nice short book, so I could probably squeeze it in between another book. And it is A Living Nightmare by Darren Shan, which is the first in the saga of Darren Shan, I believe it's called, or maybe it's the Cirque du Freak. I don't know, I feel like they keep changing the name of that series, or the name of the first book, I don't know. The third book on the list is The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. I really wanted to watch the movie, but I refused to do so until I read the book. And this girl at work almost spoiled it for me, so I need to read it before I actually do get spoiled. Another one that I have here is The End by Lemony Snicket, which is the third and final book in the series of unfortunate events. I will be very excited to finally finish this series, which I started when I don't even know how old. I was pretty young when I started them. So I cannot wait to see what happens in the end. The last one on the list is Crown of Embers by Ray Carson, which is the continuation of The Girl of Fire and Thorns. This is the second book in the series. I absolutely cannot wait to see what happens in this second book, and I cannot wait to finish this series as well. It's definitely on its way to becoming one of my favorites. If this book is anywhere near as good as the first one, it will be in my top favorites for sure. So that is my wrap up and TBR. I know it's a pretty long TBR, but like I said, we're just going to try and make our way through as many as we can. If you guys have any comments or questions, please Let me know if you want to see any of these books reviewed. Let me know that as well. If you want to read a book with me, let me know in the comments, and we will find a way to somehow get in touch with each other. So I hope you guys have a great month of reading, and I will see you later. Bye guys!